On today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Neca Predator figures. Today we're having a look at Jungle Encounter Dutch. Featuring over 20 points of articulation, he includes the M16 with grenade launcher, pistol, and knife. This is technically the second Dutch that we received with this vest. Spot will do a comparison on the two when I get this opened up. Spot picked this one up, and the other three figures from this line, this current wave. Got these all from Super Power Collectibles. So if you guys want to check out, I'm going to provide the link down below. Good folks, of course, over at Super Power's got a coupon code for you guys right now, so you guys can save a little extra this. So I picked up these three there, and certainly picked up a lot more as well. Down below there is a picture of Dutch, right down there, right down below. I was really iffy on getting this figure, just because of how close he is to the other Dutch, but you know what, overall, he's not bad. He's not bad at all, and I'm looking forward to, I'm going to do the comparison when we get this opened up. On the back, the read-up says, deep in Central American jungle, the predator is hunting humans for sport. Armed with his plasma caster, wrist blades, and a cloaking technology, the predator methodically stalks and kills the opponents he deems worthy. The jungle hunter-predator collects the skulls and spines of his victims as trophies and skins his prey, leaving the bodies hanging from the trees. When a special force team is dispatched on a rescue mission, they soon become the predator's prey. Also featured in this line, we've also got the cloaked mud-caked Dutch, which we will be reviewing as well. And also we've got the energy invisible predator. I know the names. I don't know what the names are. It's the cloaked predator. There you go. To certainly check out more, you can go to www.necaonline or necatoys.com. What I am going to do is take a break. I'm going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Jungle Encounter Dutch. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. And by the way, it was Jungle Disguise Dutch and Water Emergence Predator. Anyways, the accessories that came with Dutch, of course the M16 rifle. It's the same rifle that we've gotten with the other two Dutches. They haven't changed anything about that. I mean, the paint, there's a little bit of paint weathering to it, and I appreciate that. So it's not just a straight standalone color. He also does come with his handgun. Again, some paint was added to the handgun, which is a nice touch. And finally, he comes with his knife. Now, all the accessories except for the M16 can be housed on Dutch. We just zoom in there. He's got a holster on the side of his leg that can accommodate his knife. We just slide that into place like so. And then on the other side, he's got a holster to put his handgun into. Like that. Yeah, again, the only spot that really doesn't have a place, the only thing that doesn't have a place is his M16, but you could easily have it just on his shoulder if you wanted to. Having a look at the figure itself, now, it's more or less of what we got before. In fact, if I just, I'll move the camera back a little bit, I'll bring in the previously released Dutch. You can see that really, for the most part, they are the exact same figure. There's some slight differences, for no other reason than probably, I would say, just the way the painting was done on it. I mean, the legs look different enough, even though they should really be the same legs. This pair of legs here looks like the pattern, the military pattern is a little bit different. But if you're going to get military patterned figures, you're not probably going to get a consistency with every single figure. In fact, when you if you were to pick up 3 or 4 of these, you probably would notice that the patterns were distinctly different from one another. That's a possibility, I don't know. The heads. Now, here's the thing. The heads, something else that I've noticed, and it could just stem from the paint, really. The heads, I find, on the initial Dutch, which I have right here, it's good, I don't really have too much negative to say about it. But there's something about the newer one that looks better. And it almost seems as if, like, if you do like a head swap, the reason why I'm going to say this, if you look at the heads, the head on the newer Dutch, I think, looks better. It's got much more of a sweat to it. He's got like a darker tan to it. It just looks like a better looking figure. If you compare it to like the original Dutch, this Dutch on the side here, the paint is just almost a little too washed out. Having that extra little wash on this figure here gives it so much more personality. Having said that, though, the only downside to this figure, and it might just be the figure that I have, is that his body is so pale. It works so well from his head, and then from the neck down, he's got such a pale, pale body. But if you look at the arms on the original Dutch, at least on mine, the arms are much more tanned. They got much more of a slicker paint finish to it. Whereas the original Dutch, I don't know. It's almost as if this figure, or maybe the one that I've got, was not finished. Like, in fact, like look at the arms here, for example. There's a coloring to it, but it's missing a lot of like additional paint. Like, you can see like there's speckles and stuff like that of the skin, but like even when you start getting down to the forearms, it's missing a lot of what the original Dutch had. I'm wondering if it's just my figure, and if it is, you guys can let me know down below, because it seems incomplete, unfinished. Even on the back, it looks like it's missing. It's just missing paint. Something else too that's missing. I draw your attention to his arm. He's got a watch that just has appeared. That same watch isn't here. It's not on the original Dutch. And nor is it, if I just move back the camera here, nor is it on, of course, the original Dutch either. This Dutch had the jacket on, so it's harder to gauge it. But this Dutch, for some reason now, just has a watch. He has this watch on this one arm, right here, which is the same as this Dutch. But now he's got this extra arm, this extra wristwatch here, and I'm not sure. I'm wondering if it's the exact same watch, whether they've just given me the same arm. I guess not. I mean, it's just strange that this watch is here, but it's not even painted. And it just kind of consistently goes with the rest of the figure. It's such a shame because the head is so good. It's one of the better heads on all the Dutch figures that I've picked up. But then when it comes to his body is just so devoid of detail. Now, looking at that Dutch I was looking at before, now he does have the same vest. This vest is painted black. Obviously missing is the camo shirt that was underneath. By this point, he's taken it off. So if you really wanted to, you could easily take this off too and just have like a bare-chested Dutch. I'm not really sure why you'd want to, but you could if you wanted. You could if you wanted to. As it stands right now, just a little bit of tweaking, you could get yourself a really good commando figure. Easily. I still don't know what's happened to that torso, though. In the way of his articulation, Dutch's head is on a really nice ball joint, so he can move left and right, up and down, rotating back and forth. His arms are on a pin socket. They move out, back and forth. He has a bend, and rotation in the elbow. He has a rotation and hinge in the hand. He has an upper torso rotation, as if yes it is on a ball joint, like so. He has a swivel in the waist. His legs go forward, back, out. He has a hinge and rotation in the knee, and then he has a rotation and slight pivot in the foot. I'm not really sure what I feel about this figure. I mean, for the most part, he's good. He's a good-looking figure, but I feel like he's not finished. If you could, like, at least for me, if I could Frankenstein a couple of these figures together, I would almost take the arms off of the original release Dutch, or the second release Dutch, and then swap it out for this figure, and I would almost be happy and be able to accept the fact that he's not finished in the torso, because at least his vest covers it. But I think of the three Dutches, this one is probably the best figure, at least in the way of paint. His head is really done well. And looking at the other Dutches, I can't help but feel now that this figure is probably the best of the three, at least of the head. When you get to the rest of the body, though, it's not as good. It's not as good. I think Jungle Encounter Dutch, I think I'm going to give him an 8. Because, I mean, really, he's still a good figure, but I don't know what's happened here. Some disaster has happened here where it's either this is what they were intending, or it's unfinished in the arms. If you have the same figure, you guys can let me know as well if you have this same issue, or maybe if it's just that Spot just happened to get a figure that wasn't finished, perhaps. It's possible. It is very possible. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the new NECA Predator figures. We're looking today at Jungle Encounter Dutch. Certainly stick around, guys. Spot's got the review of the other 2 Predators from this line coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys next time.